I'm not too proud to show your viewers how this works.
Okay. May I? Shall we? Bonjour, mes cocons. It's Rachel Rampage here, and I am in Paris, France, with Miss Inanna Justice. She is an American living in Paris, and she is going to show us around her play space today. Aren't we lucky? Inanna, tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Hello, dear watchers. My name is Madame Inanna Justice. As Rachel said, I'm an American living in France for the past 9 years, and I'm welcoming you into the Justice Room, my beautiful play space. Let's get started. So as you can see, this space is kind of where I welcome everybody. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of domestic discipline, a lot of role playing. I'm a big fan of role playing. We'll probably talk about that a little bit later. So a lot of domestic themes happen in this room. The mean HR director that's punishing her employees, that's of course, who's probably been looking at the shoes or looking up the skirt of other employees. A little more traditional domestic themes. Mm-hmm. So as you can see in this space, I have, of course, the Queen's chair. And as most of you probably know, in Paris, real estate is precious. So a lot of this space is easy to transform, and there's a lot of uses for everything. Without getting into too many details, because I don't want all of my wonderful subs to know all my secrets. For example, there's some hidden items in here. All the nooks and crannies in this space have little secrets.
I love that.
I know.
Like secret passageways and things like that, little hidden compartments.
Sometimes I even surprise myself.
Yeah, you forget where you put something and you open up a book and you're like, oh there's my pinwheel.
Oh, the keys for his chastity cage, that's where they are.
Okay, great. So what do we have on the bookshelf over here? I see you have fire torches.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like fire play a lot. I do a lot of edge play.
Great.
So fire play comes in. This is from a really wonderful French artist, couple of French artisans that are just wonderful. Yeah, so a lot of the tools that I have in the dungeon are made by locals or people that I know. I really like to support small, private artisans. My board game, Inanna, that I created a few years ago.
Oh, that's so cool.
Kind of a unilateral game where basically the goal is to get around the board without using all of your Inanna bucks or using your safe word. So there's lots of different things you can land on. There's slave training positions, for example, a little bit of impact play.
That's a really good idea. That's so cool that you did that.
It was kind of on a whim. I was talking with a friend who's a submissive, not mine, but a submissive, and I was like, I'd really like to play a BDSM board game that was kind of fun.
So Monopoly usually lasts like hours and hours.
Generally,
so it's a good thing that your subs pay by the hour, isn't it? So fun.
Generally, it lasts between about an hour and an hour and a half.
Okay, all my Monopoly games lasted like all night long.
Well, I didn't want it to be too long because sessions can be tiring, especially for the other person. I'm pretty good at managing my own energy. I've been doing this for quite some time. I can manage my own energy. Mm-hmm. Plus, they're taking all the punishments there. I just have to dole them out.
Sounds so fun. Great. So what do we have over here? A bunch of chastity cages, I see.
Chastity cages, some CBT devices, weights. I won't get too into the details.
Which is your favorite tool in this array?
Really like this a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
If you don't know what this object is, it's the Enjoy 11. If you like anal play, if you like anal play as a male-identifying person, or even female-identifying person, it's really good because you can use both ends. So depending on how deep you want to go, how hard you want to go.
That's a great tool.
It's really a wonderful tool. And I love So now you can start seeing my personality a little bit. Serious, 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 not so serious. I like to play.
Yeah.
You know, we call BDSM play, and this is really my playground. Mm-hmm. I tend to be someone that's filled with a lot of joy. I love to make fun of people. I even make fun of myself. I'm not above making fun of myself.
You have like a little kitty mask, a chicken. that a dog or a horse? I can't tell.
Yes.
A horse, bird. You've got a whole f***ing farm in
I've got
this
a whole
place.
farm. Yeah, absolutely. I love what I call creaturification.
Great.
So exploring your inner creatures. Like, how do you want to feel today?
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I love the masks. The masks are a great touch.
This is the leather wardrobe, so we
Okay.
won't get into that too
All right.
much. But lots of
Lead
other
the
stuff.
way, Inanna.
All right. Welcome to the Justice Room. So this is where all the magic happens. As you can see, there are so many tools.
Let's start with this wall of tools.
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, safety first. I have about 17 pairs of safety scissors all around the dungeon.
Yeah,
I think
great.
that's something we don't talk about a lot of times.
Yeah. Anytime
And-
there's rope bondage or anything like that,
Absolutely.
mummification, always have safety.
I'm going to
scissors.
close this because there's actually some things behind here that we can
good.
see also.
Yeah.
So I love bondage. I really, really like heavy bondage. Here is a whole variety of wonderful tools. So gags of various types, a head harness if I'm doing pony play.
What is this spiky little thing?
That is called a heretic's fork.
I don't think I've ever seen this.
It's really a wonderful tool. So this is something we need to really be careful with.
Okay.
It's something that I'll use when someone's laying down, for example, or in really, really heavy bondage.
I want one. Oh, that's great.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It's so simple, and it's actually an old torture device, of course.
I love that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That would be very, very ouchy for anyone.
And it really is. It really is.
It looks so evil. I really like it.
Yeah, me too. And of course, we can adjust it a little bit.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yep. We need more of these around. Very
So
cool.
yeah, a really fun little tool. I love little gadgets, especially ones that have historical meaning. Speaking of which,
Yeah, the pillory.
the old pillory, yeah, or karkin. I actually have a karkin over there, which is a freestanding one.
Great.
But this is an old torture device that, of course, now we've adapted to our modern uses in our modern dungeons. This chair is really great for me. Again, real estate is precious in my dungeon. I have 40 square meters. Everything has to have multiple uses.
Great.
So, for example, of course, I can put someone in bondage with their knees here, but I can also use it as a throne.
Yeah.
Or if I'm doing, for example, a session where my submissive is laying out on my table here, which is a bondage table, transforms into a full bondage table,
Great.
then I can use it as a chair.
Great.
So gags, mittens. I really like humiliation.
Yeah.
So, for example, ordering someone to pick up dollar bills on the ground while they're wearing mittens.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
A nearly impossible task, you say.
Go mix
funny.
me a drink and don't spill it with your mittens
Right,
on.
exactly. Lots of different handcuffs of various sizes. Metal handcuffs, thumb cuffs. I like public play, but of course, keeping in mind the consent of people that aren't taking part of the scene.
Yeah, absolutely.
So something we always need to
Yeah.
keep in mind. And things that make you go ouch. This is from another French producer, actually two French artists. This is one artist, and then the rest of these items are from a really wonderful French artist.
These are beautiful.
I know, aren't they? Go ahead and take them off. And this
I
was
love the corset lace up and like
Exactly.
the detailing on them. There's spikes on the top and like
I wanted
just look
something
like little flowers.
really elegant and really rock and roll.
It's beautiful.
So we really tried to work with the things that speak to me. So the spikes, because I'm kind of rock and roll, and then the corset, something very elegant.
Yeah, I love the corset lacing on the side.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
This is a really fun instrument. It's called a sjambak. This is from.
I've never used one of these either.
It is really, really heavy and very, very. I will say
takes up a lot of
it
space,
takes
doesn't
a lot
it?
of space. It's only for heavy players. And I will say that I have not mastered the use of it. I've only used it with a couple of my biggest masochists that are aware of the risks.
Okay.
Because it's so heavy, as you can see, Rachel. It just weighs a ton.
This would do a lot of damage. Can you tell our audience some of the risks with this kind of play?
Absolutely. So, of course, heavy bruising. We could even break a bone with this. If we hit on the coccyx, for example, it's not a space that we want to be hitting with a heavy instrument like this.
Careful with people's hands and feet
Of
with this
course. Yeah, this is one that I will only use on the bum. Definitely, for now anyways, maybe at a later time when I have dozens or hundreds of hours, hundreds of hours,
Hundreds of years of
hundreds of
experience.
hours of practice. Just like most instruments in BDSM, we can learn how to master these instruments. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
When I got my first whip, I spent 5 to 10 minutes a day for 3 months hitting a pillow.
Yeah, that's a great aim practice. Is just to like
Yeah.
hang up a pillow, like rope up a pillow off something hanging, and you can just like,
Now I can put out a candle with a whip.
oh, gorgeous. We love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's maybe move around this.
Sure.
Way. Oh, a lot of bondage equipment. Here's another, Rachel, you asked me some of my favorite things.
Yes.
This was a Christmas gift from my sub recently.
I love these. Yeah. So you would put this on your neck,
Right.
and then you'd pump it up, and it would squeeze, and it would
I'm
tighten.
not too proud to show your viewers how this works.
Okay. May I?
Madame, you have to
of
put
course.
it on for me.
There we go.
I think part
This
of
is so fun.
For me-
I have a mask like this, like a latex mask.
Oh, lovely.
Like the full face, and yeah, you pump it up, and it just like squeezes their face.
So this is something you want to do with people that you're very comfortable with.
Are you comfortable with me?
I am.
Shall we?
That's a good non-verbal safe cue. Hey,
Yeah.
Rachel, pay attention. Because at this point, especially if, for example, my submissive was gagged at the same time,
Right.
they couldn't speak very well. It's my responsibility as the top to be able to read the body language of someone.
Yes.
And also put in cues such as this. So this is a great
Safe words, of course.
Madame,
Always
can
use
you
your
take
safe
this
words.
off,
Yes,
please?
of course. Okay, show me some more things. We have our St. Andrew's cross.
Does
Standard.
does that need any explanation? I don't think so. A lot of different canes. So like I said, I'm a big fan of just playing games.
Okay.
And I like using games of chance in what I do. So cards and dice to determine your destiny. For example, let's say that our submissive of the day is tied up on the cross. And I can't quite decide how I want to end this session. Am I going to flog him? Am I going to whip him? Am I going to use a crop? Well, I'm going to attribute each object to one side of the dice.
Okay. Ooh.
Number 1, it's the flogger.
Great.
How many times am I going to flog him?
Well, let's
So
see.
I'm gonna roll 2 die, and I'm gonna say, okay, I have a 2 and a 5. I'm gonna ask the person. This is the first die that I rolled. Do you want that to be the first number or the second number? So the person has the choice. They don't know what the number is. They say, Madame, I want that to be the second number. Okay. So the first number becomes this. They're gonna get flogged 25 times, or for 25 minutes.
Evil.
Evil.
Love it. Very cool. These are great ideas.
Yeah, pulling a card to determine how
Your
long you're going to be
fate.
in bondage. I really like mind games, psychological play, and using
Yeah.
cards are really fun for that.
Great. We have our
Nice.
sleeper sack over
Yeah.
here.
Lots of fun bondage stuff. So an arm binder,
Yep.
where we can put someone in this position. Depending on the flexibility of the person, it can be quite difficult. A full leather head harness, full sleep sack
Yeah, I love
for
that.
sensory deprivation.
Great. Straight jacket.
Straight jacket.
I see you have all your bull whips hung up here.
I have some
Saving
of
space,
I have,
of course.
I have
Good.
some of my bull whips. hanging
Okay,
up
some
here.
of them.
I have a little problem with whips. If any one of these wonderful viewers wants to send me a lovely gift, a whip is always a good choice.
Absolutely. Boot worship. Heel
I'm a
worship.
huge fan of mostly boots. I'm really into leather.
Yeah.
Today I'm wearing latex. I know you love latex. And I thought, we're going to shine together. But I wear a lot of leather in session.
Okay, great.
So more whips, more hitty things. These are
Canes.
some really wonderful canes from Quality Control. So lots of fun stuff.
So let's talk about these beams and chains here.
So I
How much can this hold?
a baby elephant in movement.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Safety is, of course, paramount. Safety comes before everything. I always say safety first, right after fun. It was really important for me. I don't practice shibari. I know how to tie someone up, but I don't do full suspensions, for example. But I really like the aesthetics of bamboo. And I was
Yeah.
looking for something in my space that could suspend people, for example, in the sleep sack or with chains. I do chain barry, where I'll do some suspensions with chains or with, so offering myself some options. And truth be told, when I first opened my dungeon, I didn't want a St. Andrew's cross. I said,
it's so classic.
And that's kind of, exactly. And I had so many requests for it. And luckily I have a submissive that's really good. He goes, Madame Inanna, I have a wonderful solution for you. We'll just do a small cross. If you like it, great. If you don't like it. And because he's been in the BDSM scene for 35 years, something like that, he tailored it to what I didn't like about crosses. For example, it's slightly tilted like this so that the person has less likelihood of falling backwards.
Okay.
There's little footholes so that I can...
Oh, right. You know what? That is something I would have never even thought of.
Right?
Yes.
So we really discussed the design of the cross and why I didn't like that, because I was like, well, you can only access to one side of the body, and there's not enough attach points. Well, on my cross, there's attach points behind also, so I can keep attaching someone. The cage, same idea. There was no board on the cage. I needed some sort of bondage table. I love heavy bondage.
Of course.
I always say I spend more time in the cage cleaning than any of my submissives do.
No, this is great. It's on wheels. It
It's
has
on
a
wheels.
lot of points.
There's a lot of points, and for taller people, there's another one also. I'm not going to go through
For the
it.
other one.
For the other side.
Yeah.
So I have a full length bondage table where I can actually, and I can move people around.
Yeah. Spin them around and make them dizzy.
I would love to have a dungeon with 300 square meters. But then you have to clean it too.
That's true.
And I almost like the challenge of being limited in space to force that creativity.
Yeah, this is great. This is a really, really wonderful space. You put a lot of thought into it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
It's a space filled with love.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing me around, allowing me into your sacred space. And if you liked this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna be doing a lot more dungeon tours, so tell me which city you want me to find them in, and I'll see what I can do. Inanna Justice.
It was a pleasure to be here. If you want to find me, I'm on all social media networks, usually with the handle Inanna Justice. My personal website is inannajustice.com. You can find out all the wonderful events that I organize, or come and see me in Paris.
Great, yeah, and we will have all of her links below, so stay kinky, stay curious, and submit to us. Until next time.
Bye.